In today's video, I want to talk about 2024 fantasy book releases that I honestly cannot wait to get my hands on. And we're actually starting with some July releases, so some of these might just have come out already. So hello my fellow fantasy book lovers and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, hi and welcome. My name is Kathy. I'm a goth girl from Belgium who loves to read fantasy books. In today's video, I'm gonna go over the fantasy releases that have been announced this year that I am personally really looking forward to, that I either have placed a pre-order on or am going to buy it the moment it releases. Now, first of all, we have the month of July, which is the current month. And in this month, actually 3 books are coming out that I am incredibly excited about. The first one is actually the second book in the Silver and Bone duology by Alexandra Bracken. The first book I actually devoured. It is a Arthurian-inspired fantasy. It is a YA fantasy, but it is a little bit dark and twisted, and there is like parallel worlds, and I absolutely love it. And the second book, which is called The Mirror of Beasts, is actually releasing in July. Now, I am super fortunate that my partner actually bought me the Owl Crate edition for the holidays of the first book of Silver in the Bone. So he got an email from Owl Crate that he was also able to purchase the second book, The Mirror of Beasts, in the same edition. So I am very impatiently waiting for that book to arrive because I'm super excited to keep reading it, but I'm also not gonna purchase another edition because I do really love the Owl Crate editions. Up next is another short and sweet, dark romantasy read is the best way to describe it, by Scarlett St. Clair. She is the author that also wrote the Hades x Persephone series, and she's also writing the Adrian and Isolde series. And this book is actually the second fairy tale retellings, of which Mountains Made of Glass was the first one, so the cover art is going to be very similar. And in the blurb it says, orphaned at a young age, Samara is left under the care of her 3 horrible brothers. Just when she thinks she cannot take another day of their abuse, a handsome prince offers for her hand in marriage. Samara's brothers agree in exchange for a large dowry, but on her way to her new kingdom, her carriage is ambushed by Lore, the wicked prince of Nightshade. Samara believes that the Fae has snatched away her chance at freedom to punish her for her crimes against his kind, but punishment is only half of Lore's plan. The truth is that the Elven Prince has pined after Samara for 7 long years. She is all he can think about, a toxin in his blood. Can the Prince of Nightshade, whose power over poisons rivals none in the Enchanted Forest, manage to find a remedy, or will he succumb to her love? So this feels like a typical Scarlett St. Clair book, and I'm all here for it. And this book will release on July 16th. Up next, we have a book that I actually discovered thanks to Waterstones. It is called Blood Over Bright Heaven by M.L. Wang, and the cover absolutely looks stunning, so let's read the blurb. Magic has made the city of Tiran an industrial utopia, but magic has a cost, and the collectors have come calling. An orphan since the age of 4, Sayona has always had more to prove than her fellow students. For 20 years, she has devoted every waking moment to the study of magic, fueled by a mad desire to achieve the impossible, to be the first woman ever admitted to the High Magistry. When she finally claws her way up the ranks to become a High Mage, however, she finds that her challenges have just begun. Her new colleagues will stop at nothing to let her know she's unwelcome, beginning with giving her a janitor instead of a qualified lab assistant. What neither Sayona nor her peers realize is that her taciturn assistant was once more than a janitor. Before he mopped the floors for the mages, Tomil was a nomadic hunter from beyond Tiran's magical barrier. 10 years have passed since he survived a perilous crossing that killed his family. But working for a High Mage, he sees the opportunity to finally understand the forces that decimated his tribe, drove him from his homeland, and keep the Tarish in power. Through their fractious relationship, mage and outsider uncover an ancient secret that could change the course of magic forever, if it doesn't get them killed first. Sayona has defined her life by the pursuit of truth, but how much is one truth worth with the fate of civilization in a balance? And this is actually a book that I'm super excited for because of this reason. It is a standalone dark academia brimming with mystery, tragedy, and the damning echoes of the past. So I am very excited for this book, and I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I know Waterstones will have it. So Emily, I will come and say hi to you at the end of July, because this book releases on the 25th of July, and I really want it. Up next, we have August, in which the second book from the Assistant to the Villain series is coming out. It is called Apprentice to the Villain, and we will, I believe, just continue on in the same story. I don't have all of the release dates exactly with me because they have changed so much, so I will put them on screen here. After that, we also have during August a Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Vampire by Sarah Hawley. I have loved the first 2 books that she wrote, so I'm just very, very looking forward to reading book 3. And if this book is anywhere near as good as the previous 2, I will just pick it up, start reading it, finish it in a day, and then be very happy about it. Because these are like, they are easy, fluent, fun reads, and it's like, it's romantasy at its best for me. Also in August, we have another vampire-themed romantasy book, and it is called My Vampire Plus One by Jenna Levine. And this is the same author that has written My Roommate is a Vampire. However, we follow 2 totally new and different characters. So I'm looking forward to that one. The scene setting of it reminds me a little bit of Filthy Rich Vampires, so we'll see which one of the 2 I prefer. But yeah, yet another fun romantasy vampire-themed read. And then the final book in August that I have on my list is Ghostsmith by Nicki Pau Preto. I already have book 1, which is called Bonesmith, and book 2, Ghostsmith, will continue and complete this duology, and I am very, very excited about it. The only thing that I hope is that I will be able to get my hands on the special edition, because I did buy Bonesmith secondhand, so I'm not sure how I will be getting my hands on Bonesmith, but we'll see. Up next, we go to September, and the first book I have written down is Immortal Dark by Tigest Girma. And the book Immortal Dark is the first book in the Immortal Dark trilogy. And the basic description says Cruel Prince meets Ninth House in this dangerously romantic dark academia fantasy where a lost heiress must infiltrate an arcane society and live with a vampire she suspects killed her family and kidnapped her sister. This just makes me smile. I love these types of setups, and I hope it is written well. Up next is a book that I don't remember where I saw it, but when I saw the cover art, I just was like, wow, I need to see what this is about. And it is called All the Devils by Catelyn Wilson. Now, the short description says dark academia meets horror in this YA fantasy series. Perfect for fans of Leigh Bardugo's Ninth House and Netflix's Wednesday. So I love Wednesday. I haven't read Leigh Bardugo books yet. And the description says, mourning the sudden death of her sister, Andy Emerson knows she must come to terms with a life without Violet. But on the day of her funeral, Andy is shocked to discover one thing. The person in that casket is not her sister. Violet is alive. Convinced her sister's elite boarding school is covering up the truth, Andy enrolls at Ravenswood Academy to discover what really happened and find Violet. The school is as beautiful and haunting as the students within it, and Andy learns that it's not just good graces that drive these pupils. Something much darker is at play. After discovering a cryptic note from her sister, Andy must follow a set of clues to unlock the truth. This will bring her into contact with secret societies, ancient magic, demons, and monsters. And a charming senior named Jay Han, who has his own reasons for finding out what happened to Violet. Soon, Andy realizes the price she must pay to bring her sister home is darker and more dangerous than she ever could have imagined. So I am getting very heavy, like, Wednesday, the series vibes from this, and I like a murder mystery investigation type situation, so I'm really all for it. In October, there's not a lot known yet about releases. However, another book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series is coming out. However, this is going to follow a character from the Crowns of Nyaxia series, but the series is going to be called differently. It is going to be the Shadowborn Duet Book 1, but it is actually the Crowns of Nyaxia Book 3. And we will follow a character that, if you have read the first 2 books, she's called Mish, and we will dive more into Mish's story. So I'm really curious for that because she is a very prominent character in the first 2 books. She's not the main character. No surprises there, but yeah. And it says, Mish lost everything when she was forcibly turned into a vampire. Her home, her humanity, and most devastating of all, the love of the sun god to whom she had devoted her life. Now sentenced to death for murdering the vampire prince who turned her, redemption feels impossible. But when Mish is saved by Assar, the bastard prince of the House of Shadow, with a past as brutal as his scars, she's forced into a mission worse than an execution. A journey to the underworld to resurrect the god of death himself. Yet, Mish's punishment may be the key to her salvation. In a secret meeting, her sun god commands her to help Assar in his mission, only to betray him by killing the god of death. Mish and Assar must travel the treacherous path to the underworld, facing trials, beasts, and the vengeful ghosts of their pasts. Yet most dangerous of all is the alluring call of the darkness, and her forbidden attraction to Assar, a burgeoning bond that risks invoking the wrath of gods. As her betrayal looms, the underworld closes in and angry gods are growing restless. Mish will be forced to choose between the redemption of the sun or the damnation of the darkness. And yeah, this sounds exactly something that Carissa Broadbent would write, and I'm all for it. Like, I'm very happy that she is not done writing vampire romantasy fantasy, because it is the right amount of story, with the right amount of romance, with the right amount of plot, without being boring and predictable. So I'm very happy that there's another Carissa Broadbent coming out. There is also a special edition releasing of a book that I really want to get into, and this will especially be a fall read for me. However, this book has already been released. It's just a special edition that is releasing in October, and it is A Pirate's Life 40 by Rebecca Thorne, which will be in the same cozy fantasy atmosphere as Can't Spell Treason Without T. If you've read Can't Spell Treason Without T, then you will know that this follows up on it. I really loved it. I thought it was a cozy fantasy, perfect for fall. So this book was actually released in February 2023, but the special edition that matches the special edition of Can't Spell Treason Without T that I already have is planned release for October this year. And then the final book on my list is a release for November, and it is called Witch Queen of Redwinter by Mcdonald. Now, I own the first 2 books of this, what I think is going to be a trilogy in hardcovers. They are stunning. Somehow I haven't started to read them yet, but I am really looking forward to having the 3rd book as well, and I really want it as a hardcover so I can have a full hardcover series of it. And I'm actually not going to read the information of the 3rd book because I want it to be spoiler free. So I'm going to read the synopsis or the description of Daughter of Redwinter, which is actually the 1st book in what I think is a trilogy, but it could be more parts. Those who see the dead soon join them. Rain can see, and more importantly, speak to the dead. It's a wretched gift with a death sentence that has her doing many dubious things to save her skin. Seeking refuge with a deluded cult is her latest bad survival-related decision. But her rare act of kindness, rescuing an injured woman in the snow, is even worse. Because the woman has escaped from Redwinter, the fortress monastery of the Dryon, warrior magicians who answer to no king and who will stop at nothing to retrieve what she's stolen. A battle, a betrayal, and a horrific revelation forces Rain to enter Redwinter. It becomes clear that her ability might save an entire nation. Pity she might have to die for that to happen. So that was book 1 in the Redwinter Chronicles, and then book 3 is actually coming out on the 11th of November this year. So these are the books that are coming out this year that I'm super excited to get my hands on and that I will hopefully most likely read whenever they come out and whenever I get my hands on them. And I really hope it makes you excited about some of these releases as well. Feel free to let me know in the comments down below which one of these are you looking forward to, and is there anything that I might have missed that is coming out in the next months that you think is absolutely worth it. Feel free to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and of course if you haven't already and you'd like to be, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every week and I would love to have you here for every single one of them. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye!